So this is a story of being self-aware and listening to what you gravitate towards. I did something very bizarre. Looking back on it, whenever I got a project at Syrup, I left studio and I'd walk down to the Oriental Theater and walk into a movie. It made no sense, but I needed that inspiration from films. They inspired me to look at things differently. I didn't know what the movie was. I just walked right in and started just kind of paying attention to sequence and emotion. And they did something for me when I was designing in school. And when I was actually at my studio desk, I see you all now watching films as you do it, but back then it was a big ordeal to bring in a DVD player and all that kind of stuff. But I did, and I would actually not just watch the films, but I would watch the director's cuts and how they made the films. And I did it all studio long, always. And I just started noticing, like, hey, maybe there's something here. And so I went out and searched for what are architectural films. This was playing at the UWM Union one day. I had no idea who Gordon Matta-Clark was, but it was an amazing film. Lots of films about him, by the way. Really, really cool. So this was kind of exciting for me. There was a film, Sketches of Frank Gehry came out. There was one about Mies van der Rohe. My Architect kind of blew us all away. But that wasn't really what was interesting to me, these films about architecture. It was something else. And so it started to get closer I started looking at films that really built architectural sets and meant something, like Jacques Tati with Playtime and Mon Uncle, or Blade Runner, things like that, where they were really set heavy, but it still wasn't quite there. It was when I started to realize pop culture, movies like Pulp Fiction, Run Lola Run, and Memento, that had nothing to do with architecture, but were completely about architecture because they challenged what time means. And in the grand scheme of things, architecture is about time. It's not static. You're consistently moving through it. You're learning and kind of experiencing these different stories.